I'm Todd McAlister with ACCA Texas. 2015 ACCA Texas president is David Mathews of CCAC Corpus Christi. Recently, I traveled to Corpus Christi to have a one-on-one conversation with David to kind of go over the things that he sees as important for our association, important for the HVAC industry, and important to all the contractors across the state of Texas. So I'm happy to welcome David Mathews, our 2015 ACCA Texas president.
I'm Todd McAlister with ACCA Texas, and today I'm in Corpus Christi, Texas at CCAC with David Mathews, our 2015 ACCA Texas Board of Directors president.
Thanks, Todd.
David, I really do appreciate you hosting us today and showing us some great hospitality.
Sure.
Looking forward to you serving on the board here in 2015. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your company, CCAC, and how it came to be, what your specialties are, and maybe how you got into the industry?
Well, CCAC has been around since 1979. I bought the company in 2003. I've been in the air conditioning business ever since my dad started an AC company when my mom was pregnant with me, so I've grown up in the business all my life. Actually started work in summers when I was 8 years old, coming up, cleaning up shop, things like that. When I was 14, I was doing installs, going out in the field, and I think about that now and I think, what did these customers think about this little kid coming out and installing their air conditioning, but hey, I did a good job, and so they were okay with it.
No callbacks?
Well, not too many.
Okay, good deal. So it's pretty fair to say that you've been in the industry for your entire life.
All my life.
Wow. So how many years is that? Can I ask?
56 years now.
56 years in the industry. That's a long time.
I tell everybody I've been in it 57 years since I'm 56 years old.
I see exactly what you're talking about. So what does CCAC specialize in? What is y'all's niche here in the Corpus market?
We do residential and light commercial replacement and service.
Has that always been where you guys have been, or have you done a lot of commercial and changed, or have you?
In the family business, we did a lot of commercial work, plan and spec, all of that, so I'm familiar with that work, and I really like doing residential better because I get to deal with the homeowner and I get to talk to them and solve their problems.
That's important.
It is.
Especially for a family-owned business.
In a very humid climate, it's very important too.
It is a little humid here. Today's a beautiful day in Corpus, though.
Yeah.
Could be better weather.
Yeah.
David, as I said, is our 2015 ACCA Texas Board President. He's been on the board now for 7 years. We bring people onto the executive committee, and each year our president has a different feel on where they see the association going and some of the things that they view to be really important within our industry and within our association. David, as you start your presidency, and of course you've worked your way through the chairs, and so you're very familiar with what our mission is at ACCA Texas. What do you see here in 2015 in this legislative session as being some of the things that we may need to work on?
Well, I think there's a lot of legislative things that are going on this year, and the legislature is changing. And we've got a new governor, we've got new people in the House and the Senate, and so we've got to work with them to get things going and get everything working like it should be. My big goal for the association this year is a membership. There's a lot of contractors out there in the country in the state that really could participate more, and as contractors, we're busy day to day doing our thing, trying to make a living, and we're not thinking about what the industry is doing.
Sure.
And we know what's going on,
right.
And there's a lot going on, and there's a lot of people trying to get in and control our business. And if we don't take charge and get out there and push for the things that we need done,
right.
Nobody's going to do it for us.
And would you consider yourself, I know a lot of people feel like ACCA is either all residential or no commercial or only for the big guys and not for the little companies. Where would you consider yourself as far as the spectrum goes? You're not a little company, but you're not a super big company.
I'm a mid-sized company. I mean, we're not the biggest guys in town. We are the best, but we're not the biggest. And there's a lot of bigger companies, a lot of smaller companies. Really, smaller companies benefit greatly from the things that ACCA and TACA have to offer, more so than the bigger companies. And like we've looked at the spectrum of companies in the state, and more members are smaller companies than really bigger companies, and it's for everybody. It's not just for the big guys.
That's a great point. And really about 70% of our membership are what you would consider to be mom and pops.
Right.
Under 5 employees, a lot of residential folks. So, and there are a lot of commercial folks also, but we are really a mom and pop organization.
Yeah.
Can you tell me what you feel like your greatest benefit as being a part of ACCA Texas is?
Well, a lot of it is dealing, mingling with other contractors, getting to know other contractors in other areas and what they do and how they solve the problems that we all have, because we all have the same problems.
Absolutely.
I mean, finding good employees, dealing with the government regulations, dealing with all of that. I think it's very beneficial to know what's going on, what's coming down the line. What is the government going to do to us next? Kind of a thing. And so, all of that information is just paramount. I mean, you've got to have that to be able to run a successful business.
Right, and I think that's information dissemination is one of our most valuable assets, I think, as an association that we're able to get out to our members.
Right.
Now, I know, like a lot of contractors, you live and breathe HVAC. This is 24/7, 365. What do you have on the outside that you may like to do that doesn't involve HVAC?
To keep me from pulling my hair out?
To keep you from pull out what you have left, pulling the last little bit out. What do you like to do?
I like to, I have a ranch. I like to go and that's my getaway. I go up there, I take care of my cows, I mow the fields, do whatever needs to be done. That's where I get away.
Spend a lot of time just hanging out, hunting, fishing, working the land.
Yeah.
It's good times. So David, like many people that are in our industry, you grew up in the business, had a family business. You were telling us that this is where you learned to drive.
Right.
Used to drive the truck back and forth in the yard.
In the parking lot out there.
3 on the tree.
That's right.
That's a lot. There's a lot of people that have that experience.
That shifting,
Do you have any family that's involved in the business right now with you?
No, actually, well, other than my wife is working here
Most
with me.
important, the boss.
The boss is working here. Yeah, she's here. But I have 2 sons. Neither one of them are really interested in air conditioning business. When they first started going to work at 16, they said, "Gosh, Dad, we don't want to work for you. We want to have a real job," And so they were lifeguards at the swimming pool. So, my oldest son got a degree in computer science, and now he has opened a microbrewery.
Oh, wow.
Here in Corpus, Lazy Beach Brewery, and so he's brewing beer. My younger son graduated just this last May from A&M College Station with a degree in aerospace engineering.
Oh, wow.
So he is a rocket scientist.
Literally.
So literally, yeah.
So you have one that's brewing beer and one that's a rocket scientist.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good combination.
And yeah.
And so we'll put in a plug for Lazy Beach Brewery. If you're in the Corpus area, I think you can get that at most of the bars around here.
Yes.
Ask for a Lazy Beach, and they'll be able to hook you up. I've actually had one of those. It's delicious.
I agree.
Very good, very good. So as we move forward and we get through 2015, and do you feel like at the legislative level that we may be battling anything, or do you think that it's going to be partially, we're going to kind of set back, or what are your feelings as far as that goes?
I think this legislative session, the legislators are in the anti-licensing mode, and so we're going to have to battle to keep the headway that we've made through the years, to keep our industry as an industry and not just open it up to any and everybody that has a truck and a set of gauges.
Right.
And to protect the consumers out there. And I think we're going to have to work on that some. Other than that, I don't really see tremendous stuff, that we're going to have to fight. But like in years past, you just never know. Something may jump up in there, and we have to really address it. So.
Right, right. Well, last year, Mike Creamer, who was our president, he really had a passion for technician training and
Yes.
getting young folks into the industry and trying to get that built up somehow.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a passion of yours? Do you feel like that's one of the most important aspects of our
We
industry?
definitely need young people moving into our industry, and it's a great industry to get into. There's all kinds of room for advancement, and we need young people coming in because us old guys are going to get out pretty soon,
You got to have somebody to take it over.
That's right. 30 years ago, I was the young guy in the industry, and now I'm getting to be the old guy.
And as we talked about, time really flies.
It does.
I guess finally, David, let me ask you, if you could, what would one thing be that you could tell an aspiring HVAC company, maybe a new company or a smaller company, if you could tell them one thing about ACCA that would help them to join and be a benefit to them as a company, what is the one thing that you would like to tell them or express to them?
I would say, nobody's going to do it for you. To be successful in business, you have to do it for yourself. And you have to get out there and you have to help build our industry. There's so many people that just sit back and they complain about, this is going wrong, this is going wrong, this is going wrong, but then they don't do anything about it. Join ACCA, join the association so that you can be a voice, you can do something about what's going on in our industry and make it better. It's going to be better for all of us.
I think that's a great point. And David,
Thank
we
you.
appreciate your time. Look forward to your 2015 year as the president of ACCA Texas. I know we're going to do great things. And as always, can't wait to have one of those Lazy Beach beers later on this evening.
Let's go.
So let's go do that. Hey, David, again, I really do appreciate it.
Thank you,
very
Todd.
much. 2015 is going to be a great year for ACCA Texas. With David's leadership, we're going to do great things. We've got the legislative session going on. As always, we're here to protect the HVAC industry. We look forward to you joining ACCA. If there's anything that we can ever do for you, please don't hesitate to call us at 800-998-4822. Make sure you visit TACA TV so you can see all of our latest videos and find out what's happening in the industry. Check out our TACA Trade Talk that happens every 2 weeks. That'll give you some updates on what's going on legislatively and around the state. And as always, I look forward to visiting you as I travel across the state, and I will plan on seeing you next month and the month after that and from then on. So have a great 2015, and with your help, we'll make the HVAC industry even better here in Texas.